Hello everyone, RPG Kingdom Kid here bringing you some more Steins Gate. In the previous part we ended chapter 2 and we are now in chapter 3, and I have finally decided that I'm going to try to get the true ending. The good news is I don't need to get any other endings in order to get the true ending, I believe, so I'm actually going to try to get that true ending route. And the good news is that like everything that I've done in the past doesn't matter for the true ending until chapter 4. So as soon as we start chapter 4, that's when we'll start getting into the true ending. And actually I think that's when you start getting the other endings as well. I don't know if I will like go back and record those endings. Probably not, because considering that they are long, like they go from chapter 4 and then it's like, all right, gotta go all the way to chapter 10. Gotta go all the way to chapter 10. Gotta go. I think only one endings will. Well, I think only one of those endings would end at chapter 6, I believe. So let us continue. It's past 2 a.m. The window is closed and the lab is silent before the humming of the computer. We stare at the gruesome image displayed on the monitor, speechless. I was right. We're in too deep. I half expected guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked. What's going on here? There breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper. They jellified someone? I need to turn down the volume a bit. It's a little... Yeah, oh yeah, I definitely need to turn down the volume. It was too loud. I was watching TV the other night, so... And of course, the thing with my TV is like, oh, when I want to play games, they have to be like low, like how they are right now, and I'd be fine. But for like TV, they have to be up in the double digits, almost to like 20 or something, in order to actually hear decently. Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at a bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified bananas produced by the phone wave and the jellified corpse produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature. They're experimenting on people. Krisu speaks calmly despite her grim expression. She doesn't even avert her eyes from the gruesome image. And this means they've created a time machine, doesn't it? Even if it's not perfect. It? I'm still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Kurisu's words. This New York Times article is from 1921. 90 years ago? Look! Kurisu points to a part of the black and white photograph, her fingers shaking silently. Yeah, you can see the CERN number on the person's shoulder there. The jellified corpse of a man. She's pointing to his shoulder, which has writing on it. Perhaps it was printed on his clothes. It's fused into the jellified body. They can somehow manage to read it. CERN. So, CERN used the LHC to send someone back to 1921? Looks like they failed to keep him alive, though. Is this the only report? No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total. More jellymen? That means more jellified people. More victims of human experimentation. I swallow hard. I'm awfully thirsty. Take a cold Dr. P out of the fridge and wet my throat. Show me the others. Tara pulls up with another report. Without being told, Krisu begins translating out loud. Holy lordy. Oops. Subject Dan Starzaki, age 26, Canadian. That's a weird, funky last name. Z Program 4. Date of experimentation. 2004, October 30th, T minus 1410. So that's 210. Results, error. Human is dead. Mismatch. The newspaper clippings. I think it's in French. I can't read it. You can read the date though. January 31st, 2001. The location is Pau, France, I guess? 2001. That's fairly recent. Pretty big difference from James McCarthy, who jumped nearly 90 years back to 1921. Daru calls up a machine translation, gives us the following. January 31st, 2001. Collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. Its left foot was fused to a tree trunk and the body had jellified. Daru goes to the next report. Jellyman's Report 8. Subject, Linda Hill, age 25, British. Z Program 4. Date of experiment, 2004, February 15th, 1345. Results, error. Human is dead. Is she saying human is error, human is dead mismatch in English every time? October 2nd, 1972. The jellified body of a woman was discovered on the streets of Dharmu in Tamil Nadu, India. There were signs that the body had been run over by a car. Daru goes to the next page. Jellyman's Report 7. Subject, Michael Lang, age 33, German. Date of experiment, 2002, October 8th, at 1:28. Yeah, she's saying it in English. The article clipping is written in Japanese. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 24th, 1936. The corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered at the base of Mount Hai in Kyoto. It was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slopes. Even have it in Japan. I've never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me wouldn't have nothing to know about it. Next page. The picture shows a beach, beautiful, but for the jellyfish like by lying in the sand, it must have washed ashore. Jellyman's Report 6. Discovered the fish Apakolu. Mark Hughes, age 30, American. Z Program, date of experiment, 2002, August 23rd, at 12:52. Results. Mismatch. On July 1st, 1985, a strange body washed ashore on the coast of Stramoy Islands. It appeared to be the body of an adult male, but its flesh was soft like that of a jellyfish. Some of the island's inhabitants believed that it was the body of a merman. The inscription CERN was found near the body's shoulder, but CERN denies any involvement. Keep looking. I've seen enough. There are 14 of these people. The sites are spread throughout the world. What can we deduce from this? They must have sent them to those places. I don't think so. It's too random. There was something about curved black holes and gravity, right? Isn't that the cause? It's believed that due to infinite compression by supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through the curved black hole singularity. That's what it said. What's a curved black hole? Is it different from a regular black hole? It's a theoretical black hole with a rotating singularity. Their existence hasn't been proven yet. Not that there's any way to prove one exists. Kerr black hole. Where have I heard that term before? That's right. John Titor. Titor said his name time machine was Kerr black hole. His time machine used Kerr black holes. According to Tedder, CERN finished their time machine in 2034. Then Tedder himself came from 2036. It makes sense for Tedder and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. Curiously closes her eyes in deep thought. Creating Kerr black holes? That's insane. If you screw up, it could swallow the Earth. And besides, Kerr black holes are just a theoretical construct. If Tedder's predictions are a reality, then that means the LHC worst case scenario video on YouTube was right. I don't know about Tedder's predictions, but I've seen the problem video before. It was on the news 2 or 3 years ago. The gravitational force inside a black hole was unbelievably powerful. It's certainly possible that passing through one could allow time displacement, but there's no way a human could do that and come out alive. That must be how these people got jellified. It wouldn't just jellify you, it would tear you apart practically from particle. That's what a black hole does. Before we discuss this, shouldn't we look through the rest of their time machine research? Dar's already started pulling up old new documents. I'm suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Should I stop him? I'm the one who asked him to do it, but things have gotten serious now. But at the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. Can't stop now. Here we go. There's a file in the Z program that explains time travel theory. That's pretty easy to find. CERN should have better security. I should close my window. We're gonna go close my window quickly. Hold on. Alright, back. Now it's gonna get a little hotter in here because, oh my lord, it's so humid. Their security is fine. I'm just too good. Daru is my favorite right arm. I thought he was your super hacker. Hacker! Hello. Whoops. So what does this say, Christina? This is in English too. So I have no choice but to rely on my assistant. Can you give me some time to read it? Kurisu's eyes dart left and right across the lines. Her earlier reluctance has vanished. It looks like she's as curious as I am. No way. But this is... It's... Tighter, really? What are you muttering about? Tell me what it says. What are you muttering about? Oh, right. You know, this feels like one big joke. What do you mean? It's almost the same. The same as Tider's theory. Basically, the LHC smashes protons together at 99 whatever percent the speed of light. By doing so, oh my lord, they compress a mass of that into an extremely tiny space of that. In Japanese, please. 3 lines max. A small mass thrust into a narrow space with great force. The explanation's too vague. That explanation's too erotic. Huh? What part of it is erotic? You pervert. Sounds like you have a pretty good imagination yourself. I'm not like you. Blushing cheeks makes her denial less than effective. Don't listen to this fool, Christina. Continue. Ugh. What were we talking about? Thrusting with great force. Proton compression. Right. Successful compression generates a micro-singularity, which... A micro-singularity? Not a mini black hole? Same thing, essentially. A singularity is the core of a black hole. This process generates a black hole with two micro-singularities. Black hole with two cores? Like a cowlick with two hairs? No, I don't think that's it. Explain with cute girls. Fine. Say there are two cute girls, Mik-chan and Kuro-chan. Sisters or moe. By feeding Mik-chan and Kuro-chan electrons, you can make them do whatever you want. Electric shock torture? This is some kind of eroge? So you force them to rotate at an extremely high velocity. And then, theoretically, Mik-chan and Kuro-chan transform into magical girl rising singularity. Cue shock transformation scene. Got it. Well, it looks like these two have found a common wavelength. The resulting black hole exhibits what's called the Kerr effect. What are Kerr black holes anyway? You said they spin, but what does that mean? Exactly what it sounds like. But don't black holes usually spin? I mean, there's a whirlpool around the hole, right? The part that looks like it's spinning is just the surrounding matter being sucked into the black hole. A black hole is just a point where extreme mass causes gravitational collapse. Everything falls through it, towards it. Since it's only a point, it doesn't spin. A Kerr black hole has a ring at its center, not a point. Think of it like this. Once transformed into magical girls, Mik-chan and Kuro-chan's hearts spin like a ring inside their bodies, which is impossible for normal people. I'll pass on the Guro. Before you said that such a black hole's existence would be impossible to prove, what did you mean? A black hole has what's called an event horizon. Once you pass the event horizon, time and space switch places. Time and space switch places? Right now we can move freely through space and into the future, but we can't move even 1 minute into the past. That becomes reversed. On the other side of the event horizon, moving freely through space becomes impossible, though moving freely through time becomes possible. Can't even imagine what that's like. Since unrealistic spiral movements is impossible, you can never escape a black hole. For example, if Okabe jumped into a black hole, time for him would stretch to infinity. Since light cannot escape, human eyes cannot see the other side of the event horizon. Observing a black hole from the outside is impossible, so nothing about the inside can be proven. There is an exception, however. This exception is vital where you use a Kerr black hole for time travel. Get to the point. The Kerr black hole's ring singularity. Since it's spinning, it has angular momentum. Like I said, in Japanese, please. Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. If you keep giving Mik-chan and Kuro-chan electrons, they'll rotate faster and faster. And when their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, the event horizon will disappear and the singularity will become a naked singularity. Naked? You mean the magical girl costume explodes a lot of skin, right? When does the anime adaptation air? Kurisu and I ignored Daru's nonsense. Naked, you mean? You mean it becomes observable? When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped. And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated and the general theory of relativity to fall. The laws of physics are broken. Can such a thing exist? The negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kurisu say that earlier? Nothing in principle stops Kerr black holes from existing. It seems insistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it would be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity. John Titter said the same thing, so Titter's time machine is using CERN's technology. But Titter's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. The LHC is 22 kilometers long, but they have managed to get down to travel size in just 24 years. One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC, but there's strange equipment installed on the proton collision site. It looks like they call it a lifter, but just what is it? Daru. Have you heard of it? Lifter. I think I saw that in the Z program files. Want to Google it? Daru opens up a browser window and enters lifter into a search engine. We've got hits! About 422,000 results. That many? I guess it's not a secret. Could this be it? Phonocraft? Ions are charged particles. The meaning matches. Click a link and it says Ioncraft Lifter. It takes us to a video. There's YouTube. Looks like some dim garage. But it doesn't seem like anything secretive, just a garage like you've seen in an average American home. At the center of the screen is a triangle shape made of some kind of metal, and it looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. Excuse me. It's connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. That's all there is. Nothing else. I have to explain something in some language I don't understand. Russian, maybe? The person filming the video slowly turns the power on. It's floating. The silver triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Then it remains stationary. That's an anti-gravity device. Don't be ridiculous. That would be the breakthrough of the century. It's called an Ioncraft, so it probably has something to do with electrodes and charged air. Teresa doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. Look up information on the Ioncraft lifter. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories. CERN is using this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. If they can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field, then these things really are anti-gravity devices. Well, under those exact conditions, I guess you might be entirely wrong. Incredible. My curiosity is growing more by the second. But it looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity, so they can't make a true naked singularity.
そのせいで被験者がゼリーマンになっていると見るべきだな。
Excuse me. That must be the reason why the subjects turned into jellymen. Krisu nods. Since the singularity is still close, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. As a result, substance becomes fractalized. Let's go with that hypothesis. Of course, there's no way to make sure that it's right. It might take months to prove. Krisu shrugs her shoulders in resignation. So CERN's lifter is still incomplete. If Titter's telling the truth, then CERN won't complete their time machine for another 24 years. If we can complete the phone wave first, then we'll have outwitted CERN. We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think you can solve a problem that they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. That should be evident by how scattered the Jellyman discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. There could be Jellyman buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no point traveling through time if you end up in tens of or thousands of kilometers away from the Earth. It's not practical at all. Titer said he had a variable gravity lock system. You can use that to lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure he arrives somewhere on the planet's surface. Titer's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked. But if you're only moving through time, won't you just arrive at the same location? Of course not. Why not? Because the Earth is always moving. Right. Rotation and revolution. The Earth's rotation velocity is about 1,650 kilometers per hour. Its orbital velocity around the Sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago, we were that far away from where we are now. Whoa, when you think about it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast. And that's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 500 million kilometers a day. How could she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. She's been doing research on the topic? We're kinda gotten to a ludicrous scale. By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger subcluster. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, we're moving even more than 500 million kilometers a day. The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you want to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution, just to get you to the same location. Have you bought Phantasm's debut single yet? It's the theme song for Rankai Kuri, so it's really popular. Fair's about 5 copies, yeah. It's my duty as a Rhinetter. Anyway, there's an important scene hidden in Phantasm's songs. An important secret hidden in Phantasm's song. The key to unlock it is... Oops, the bell's ringing, yeah. Looks like someone's here. Better see who it is. Is this another part of Operation Stupefy Humanity? Explain. Oh, I figured out like how you get that trophy of ignoring or go through. You basically need to not open up someone's mail for the entire game. Or not the entire game, but have that mail icon up on that little corner there until the end of the game. Or until you reach an ending. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with the solution, just to get you to the same location. And we have no choice. We need to find Titer and borrow his variable gravity system. Great idea. Go for it. I wonder how CERN is dealing with this problem. After blowing me off, Kurisu goes back to reading CERN's documents. Daru and I aren't good with English, so there's nothing more we can do but let her work. Dawn breaks. Alright guys, well that just hinted that a scene transition just occurred, so we are going to end the part right here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give that like button a click. Comment down below what you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video, and let me know how interested are you in like this scientific stuff. Like science is cool. I will admit that like science is cool and all these theories is amazing, so that's great. Oh, I didn't call our character stupid this episode. Our character is stupid. There we go, reached the quota. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and share the video too. Your friend might like it. And as always, guys, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the beat, and subscribe to my main channel too. That's in the description below, as well as my Twitter accounts, both my main Twitter and the RPG Kingdom Kid Twitter are down there too. I want to thank you all so much for watching once again. I'll see you all next time.